he is an OG in our space. And when I say OG, I mean like one of the first guys that was actually running Facebook ads, like before they were publicly available, like Facebook ads. Facebook ads before they existed. Okay. He was also a big part of building Snapchat's ad product. Okay. Early at Snap, building all of that. Now he has moved over with Comcast in the world of CTV and linear TV. Big offering for everybody in our space. I am incredibly excited. We need to bring him in here. Everybody, welcome to the show, James Borow. James, get in here.
Let's go.
Get in here, James.
Let's go.
There he is.
It's unbelievable. Thank you guys for having me. Unbelievable commercial read you just did there. That postscript, that was incredible. You didn't miss a beat, man.
We try to put on for our sponsors, James.
It was good.
You know, foundational principle of this show: ads are not bad. We're all here because of ads. So we try to win awards when we do them. Now, James, brother, you have got to give people color on you and your backstory, because there's too few people in our space, in our community, in our audience that know who you are. Man, you are an OG. I mean, on Facebook ads before they even existed publicly. And you know, give us a little origin story for how you got here and what you're doing now with universal ads and bringing us all into the world of CTV and linear.
Yeah, man. Well, again, thank you for having me here. Huge fan of what you guys are doing. The origin story started in like 2008. It's kind of a long story, so we got some time. But really, kind of originally, what happened is I started playing around with the Facebook Connect APIs when Facebook Connect came out in 2008, and we were building apps for that. And basically, what we were doing is we were making it where you FB Connect, and then if you were like a female, you would get a certain experience. If you're male, you get a different one, right? Like very early on the Facebook platform. And then from that, I became really good friends with a bunch of people who had big Facebook games. So these were Canvas games inside the iframe on desktop only, back in the day, Facebook. And when you opt into that, they would pass your Facebook credentials. So we could actually sell Facebook ads before Facebook ads existed. And so you were selling basically display ads inside the canvas. And so I had the idea to start that company. Started running around the country. I was like 24. And I'm like, you know, going to meetings in a suit and tie. We're pitching Microsoft, a bunch of big brands. And we were not in a nefarious way, but we were like, hey, we can sell you Facebook ads. Facebook doesn't have ads. We got them. They're here. And started getting quite a bit of traction until one day we got a cease and desist letter from Facebook and said, guys, you can't do this. And we're like, listen, like our intent is just to help facilitate personalized ads. So had the opportunity to go up to Facebook headquarters. Again, this is 2008, 2009. I remember I'm friends with a lot of the people that were there at the time still, and they all just remembered me like in a suit and tie, being like, what the hell are you doing? But I kind of did my pitch in the business at the time was called Graph Effect. We were like so into like Facebook Graph and all that stuff. And they're like, listen, you absolutely cannot do what you're doing. And I was like, okay, can we like do something? And they're like, yeah, we have this thing called the Facebook Ads API. And this was like pre-Power Editor, like this is like back in the day. And so we started building on top of that. And that business became a business called Shift, which became, there was us and Nanigans were probably the two biggest in the space in the early 2000s. Us and Social Code was the other really big one. And we scaled that up. We sold to a private equity firm. And it was a crazy experience. We were the first ads API partner for pretty much every platform, Pinterest, Twitter, LinkedIn.
Bananas.
Yeah, and it was just like a different, and that was back when everyone thought Facebook ads didn't work, and it was pre the shift to mobile. So it was a crazy experience, but
wild.
It made me into like the API zealot I am today.
There we go.
Which I think like actually kind of ironically, like in this sort of shift to AI has been like really great timing because like APIs are pretty useful for that. But yeah, that's kind of the origin story. And then I ended up, we sold that business. I got recruited over to Snapchat to build out their ads API and their ads business there. And then Snap ended up acquiring back my old business from the private equity firm that we sold it to. So yeah, I've done a bunch of stuff around self-service ads APIs, and fast forward to today, had the opportunity about a year and a half ago to come to Comcast with a bunch of people I used to work with at Snap, and to basically try to build like the meta ads equivalent of TV. So that's what we're working on now.
And this
incredible.
this is what I am so excited about, and I love that phrasing, the meta ads of TV.
That's fire. That's a bar.
It's a bar. It's
a bar.
fire. We need to have it on shirts and hats and
A cowboy hat with it.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a bar.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And give everybody context on universal ads. Man,
Yeah.
what's unique, how people inside of our space can approach this and win on the internet. And I'll say this, James, from my own experience, especially when I was at Bruce Bolt, fast growing brand. We were one of the fastest growing brands on Shopify for a period of about 24 months. And one of the things when we arrived, when we were having our big moment, and there was specifically a moment around the Little League World Series, as a baseball brand, we wanted to announce ourselves on TV, big boy. I mean, we wanted that because it's a status play. Not only is all of our target audience watching that intently, travel baseball, but we wanted to announce ourselves and say, hey, we're here, new product offering. We have made it. We have arrived. We wanted to have that moment. But then when you step into it, brother, it's so murky and mysterious. It's like, how do we get it? Who do we talk to? We can do CTV. Oh, but we can't do linear. Oh, you can. Try talking with Disney. Try talking with ESPN. It's like, how do we even step into this thing? It's multi-week.
Yeah.
Find out.
It's kind of madness how it has worked in the past, to be totally honest. So I think, the thing that got me so excited. So with universal ads, just kind of setting the stage how it works. And anyone can go to universalads.com right now. You can be up and running with TV ads in 5 minutes. No minimums. You can record a video on your phone, post it. We have an AI editor in there that's powered by Creatify. If you guys are familiar with those guys,
Wild.
That's all free too. It's just us. It's like table stakes. You got to be able to help people with creative. But I mean the whole idea of universal ads is Comcast, which most people think of as like an internet company and cable company. Comcast owns NBC, Peacock, Sky in the UK, and then has a ton of inventory through its own cable footprint.
Wild.
And it owns a company called Freewheel, which is the ad server basically for all of CTV. And so what we sort of came up with as we were just kind of getting to know this team at Comcast was like, why wouldn't you guys just stand up an ads API and ads manager just like social, where you can buy TV in a unified way? Who cares how it's delivered, linear or CTV? Like, no one defines how they watch TV. Like, you're not thinking they'll be like, I'm watching linear versus I'm watching CTV. No. And then because Comcast owns all these pieces, we don't have to charge a demand side fee. So the same way when you buy a Meta ads or a Snap ads or Reddit ads, you're just buying those ads, there's no markup on it. That's the same thing with universal ads. And so you can buy TV ads across over 20 different publishers because we power it all. So that's like Fox and NBC and Peacock and Tubi and Paramount, Roku, HBO, a bunch of others, reach 90% of US households. And you just pay for ads. And so it's awesome. And I think it's like, from our perspective, a bunch of us all worked on social, and we're like, we always looked kind of, when we were at Snapchat, you can get people to watch ads for like more than like a second and a half. Like the attention span is like nothing. And so, and we still made them work. I mean, it's $6 billion business now, but we would look at TV and we're like, man, what a hand TV has if it can just go ahead and make this easy and unified. And so that's what we've done with universal ads. And it's early. Like, we've only been in business. We launched last February, but it's crushing it. I mean, we have like Jones River Beauty with great results so far. We got Nero Gum and Mints crushing it. We have our APIs integrated with pretty much all the major measurement partners. So Triple Whale and Workmagic, Northbeam, House, Measured. We're sort of running the playbook, but we've been pretty quiet. So I'm excited to get a little louder talking with you guys.
Yes, that's right, James. We got to be louder on this.
Yes, we are. We're coming. So it's pretty exciting stuff.
James, I think one of the things that you kind of brush past that a lot of brands need to understand is the fact that you said there's absolutely no minimums. And that's one of the most intimidating things. Chris and I covered this on the show where OpenAI was kind of, dabbling with releasing some ads. And we were like, all right, cool. What's the minimum? It's $1 million. Like, all right, well, I don't know if I can do that. And you're saying no minimums. Could you talk a little bit more about some of these amazing brands that are actually on the platform? I mean, you mentioned Jones Road. Everybody knows them. Talk a little bit about how they went through that process and how they're scaling.
Yeah, so they were, I believe this is the first time they ran TV ads was with us. The kind of key stat there was like 7.5% lift in new customer sales for them. And then the halo effect of TV across other channels is massive. And if you're running incrementality tests, you can see it all. So it's kind of like the beauty of this moment is it's actually set up for TV to win. Like in the previous world when post-click mattered so much, it was tough, you know? But now it's set up for TV to like really shine. A, you can reach incremental audiences, but B, again, we see this over and over again. You turn off TV, CPAs across the board are shooting up. And it makes sense because it's kind of like, it's just obvious, I think, in some ways, and I get, you know, I'm sure the Comcast comms team is watching this right now as I say this, but there's kind of an internal mantra we have there's just like TV's like the new second screen, and that's okay. And that basically is why you have that halo effect, right? Is that like it used to be the other way, but now TV's just assisting everything on your phone. You know, 70% of e-com's happening on your phone. And so it's sort of this superpower, right? It's unskippable, biggest screen in your house, and it's got the benefit of being around amazing content. And so it's just sort of a no-brainer for every brand to put in the mix, as long as the minimums are low and it's effective, which I think we're doing a really good job at.
Wow. I mean, okay, so then talk to us about, this is probably going to be really expensive. What are the CPMs? It's going to be like $50 CPMs.
Yeah,
give us average. Yeah, give us some average CPMs then.
Yeah, so the average clearing CPMs, and this is the most premium TV you can find. And again, all the TV that you run across Universal Ads is all being served by Freewheel. So there's like no games in it. You're seeing like $8-9 CPMs clearing on the most premium stuff.
Stop it! Whoa!
There's a couple reasons why that happens. So now there's different moments. So for example, like earlier during the Winter Olympics, you actually could buy the Olympics via Universal Ads, right? So
incredible, number one.
I ran a Olympics ad for my podcast. It's called ADSN.
Let's go!
I ran Olympic ads for my podcast. I gotta send you the video. It's like the dumbest video in the world, but me and my co-host recorded a video on our phones, and we're like, we can dog for this. Of course we can do it. And so, but those ones, just as an example, those CPMs obviously much higher, right? Those have a different floor. Sure. But I think the reason why there's like a misnomer on what the clearing CPMs are for TV is really that in almost every case, when you're buying TV right now, self-service, honestly, except for really like Universal Ads, there's a huge amount of markup and arbitrage inside the buy. So you may be buying $20 CPM ads, but what's actually happening behind the scenes is they're clearing at like 10. Yeah. And so because we have no demand side fee, you actually can see what's happening. And so like I've been trying to get people to just ask, like, obviously you want to know your ROAS, but like really ask like, what is the return on my actual ad spend? Right? Like find out, like ask your vendor, like how much really went through ads. Yeah. And if they don't tell you, I would ask them why. Because I think that you'll see that that's why this is all just sort of kind of a little bit still a wonky market.
Okay. And I have to underline this point because I have done this from the brand side, and it's always like, well, like our foundational CPM, it's like, I mean, it's going to be $15, Yeah. It's like, you can't get anything cheaper than $15, I mean, that's like that's where it starts. It's like, okay, well, tell me about that. Like, can you like, wow, I just, that's where it starts,
Yeah. It reminds me a lot. So like in the early, this is like, it's amazing how long I've been sitting here like building ad stuff. But like early 2010s, Meta, everyone thought Meta ads didn't work. And that was because there was just like a massive amount of arbitrage inside the system. Yeah. And so what happened is like 2013, Meta said, we're changing the rules on here. If you're building on top of this ads API and an advertiser wants to know how much actually was spent, they get to go find out. And that's why there was always, I don't know if you guys, like in the mid 2015s, kind of like that period of time, there's all this business manager work that Facebook was doing where like it was this ad account soup. Everyone was just trying to clean it all up. But that was basically so Meta could just tell the advertiser, here's how much you actually spent.
Yes.
What was called Facebook ads back then. And I think that now is starting to happen in TV. And it's good for advertisers. It's good for us as like, we're part publisher and part ad platform. It's not great for middlemen who are like taking unnecessary fees, but like, too bad.
Too bad.
Yeah. Well, because the TV will never work if it continues to operate that way. And TV is too good of an ad platform not to be performant. So yeah.
Too good. And James, let me say this. I have great friends of mine who are operating great businesses, great products. And over the past 18 months, they have literally seen their CPMs double. They've gone from $60 CPMs on Facebook to $120 CPMs on Facebook to $140 CPMs on Facebook. And I'm there with them. I'm in the trenches and we're like, how do we make this work? How do we make this thing work? And there's always promise of, oh man, well, there's new channels, new opportunities. And there are great paths. But brother, when you can tell D2C e-com operators that I can get you $6 to $8 CPMs on the biggest screen in the house, I mean, it's bananas with no minimums. It's crazy.
And by the way, for us too, so we have, again, if you went into Universal Ads Manager, it looks like Snap Ads Manager or like Meta. It's not as confusing as Meta. I think we actually done a better job.
Thank you for that.
Yeah, thank you. It's not like that. But we have two campaign types. We have this thing called, it's Performance Plus. It's our PMax Advantage Plus kind of thing. And it just rips. It works so well. And again, I think again, it's the kind of the key thing is like right now, I think what I want everyone to know is like TV it is accessible. It is way more efficient than you possibly understand. And then also now we can move out of the CPM conversation and move into outcomes. And we can actually just help generate revenue for your business, which is like what we're seeing now, like is becoming a pure performance channel. There are moments where like the brand stuff is real. Like the Olympics, I think was a great example. Like there's definitely just a brand value being associated with these amazing moments. But even at our system, you can go ahead and retarget the people who saw your Olympics ad across a Performance Plus campaign. And so you're just sort of back, you're just doing the same thing you've always done on a channel that has a lot of unique value to it.
Could you talk a little bit about the creative that is actually going into these ad platforms? Is it just me going into my Facebook ads and dumping those in there? Or are you seeing a specific type of creative that is actually yielding incredible results?
It's kind of all the above. So like the thing that we say is so people get hung up on creative as they should. It is like overwhelming. It's a 15 or 30 second ad. We actually can run 60s or 90s too.
Wild.
Yeah, it's wild. And so you sort of have that, and I'd say there's sort of three flavors of what's happening with creative. One is just recutting social, right? And it's basically just you're basically telling people TV ads are basically horizontal Instagram ads. That's kind of like what you're just saying. Just do that, go for it. The other is AI native. So people using like Higgsfield, people using Creatify, stuff like that. That stuff kind of crushes. And you can rapidly iterate. And it's because I feel like the thing that what's happened in TV is that everyone was getting so precious with the creative, whereas like you're not that way on social.
Yes,
right? Like you're willing to just throw stuff against the wall and see what happens.
Yeah.
And so I think the people who are really AI native on creative, they're seeing success because they're taking that attitude around it and they're just churning out stuff.
Oh my gosh.
And then there's this third one that's kind of popping up, which is obvious, but we didn't really see it, which is creator led TV ads. And sort of hyper local creative creators. So like, because you really can
makes so much sense.
Which makes total, right? Doesn't it? Like it makes all the sense in the world. And so we've seen some of that popping up. We're gonna lean into that. Like obviously, like this is pretty obvious, but we should have a pretty vibrant creator marketplace. Like there's a lot of things that we can do here, which are like obvious moves that I think you'll see us do over time. But those are the three. And then you still have your like legacy, like they shot a TV ad. I bet you that is like 5% of the creative flowing through us right now.
Wow.
Right? Like who's really going
Wow.
out and shooting real ads? Like, you know, it's just that's still, I would say, fairly it's still pretty rare, just given all these other tools. So we'll see how it holds, but that's where it is so far.
That creator angle fires me up, Chris. I mean, just thinking
sure.
about, as an example that I think everyone on the show would know, would be Jesse at the Savannah Bananas. And then you get all of the baseball players that are part of that team as creative angles to the local Savannah market or wherever they're going.
Anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anywhere. And it becomes incredible. And it's on every single TV. I mean, that would just explode. And they're so funny.
And you like, you see it in social with like, I had friends that were working on startups that were like going to Walmart and getting Walmart associates to post, right, on behalf of just, you know, and like that actually probably would be the best TV ads for Walmart in some ways.
That's
right. Like,
really interesting to think about.
So I think, you know, it's just the people who are coming at it like social first and AI first have such a different expectation around it where like they're just like not as intimidated by it to some extent. And so I think like that may become more of the norm as opposed to what we've seen in the past with TV.
Okay, James. Okay, so a few things that we need to like nail down here. I'd love for you to talk about. When I think, you know, I think there's like there's a gap. Like when people think about TV, they think like, oh, like it's not as performance related, whatever. It sounds like that's being solved. We've got House, we got Triple Whale, we got North Beam, we've got all the abilities to measure.
And we have our own pixel, native pixel. Again, like what we say about the pixel is that like when it comes to TV, because it's not a click, you're really using the pixel for targeting, not measurement, right? Like it's about like suppressing audiences and retargeting as opposed to like purely keeping math in the ad manager. Like I push everyone to third party measurement and like hold us accountable to that.
And then secondly, you've got, I mean, it sounds like what's going through the platform right now is that people are taking a very like wide breadth creative take. It's like, hey, take what you're doing on Instagram, turn it sideways, try creators, try this. And then that's working. You don't have to go out and shoot like a $30,000 commercial for it to work.
Exactly.
Thirdly, talk to me about specific buys. I love you called it Performance Plus campaign. Is that what you called it? Okay. I love
P
that.
Plus.
P Plus. Okay.
Yeah.
Talk to me about specific buys because I know that there are brands, there are marketers who they'd like to have specific buys on linear for this channel and this spot when it shows here and there. Talk to me about that because I think that linear piece is important.
Yeah. So we have two flavors of it. So P Plus campaign is like audience based, you're going for efficiency, scale, reach. And then we have something called content select. And that's when you can go ahead and pick basically like, you know, I want to be in reality shows. I want to be in the Olympics. Like that's that sort of like that path you go down. And if you guys ever bought Snap ads back in the day, we did kind of model it off of like Snap and Snap Discover, which is like one, it's like run across the entire network, or two, you know, decide where you want to be. I think, you know, when it comes to linear, we actually kind of have two ways to look at it. One is that it's actually part of Performance Plus. So like from an advertiser perspective, because linear can be measured the same way, because it's programmatic linear, you actually really shouldn't have to care. Like if you just care about results, it's all just TV. Yeah. That being said, if you want to go ahead and just run linear, you can. And actually we have some, I'll send you guys, we got a pretty cool, basically ad credits program coming out for that.
Please.
So I'll hook you guys up with
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
And you're giving out ad credits? I mean, this is unbelievable.
Yeah, no, we do ad credits, measurement studies, like whatever you see an Apple and a Snap, like what the platforms are doing is what we're doing. Like we are holding ourselves to that standard. Like we don't look at this, like universal ads is not a tool. Like we're trying to build a channel for people to get the most value out of TV, like hard stop.
I'm totally sold. I'm totally sold.
Yes. So yeah, it's awesome. And we are open. We announced this previously, and we'll have more to share in it too, but it's not just US inventory. We're going global. We're open to export demand. So, you know, if you have startups that are around the world that want to advertise in the U.S. market. You can go ahead and use universal ads for that. We, obviously accept credit cards. We do line of credit, all the stuff, just the things that you'd expect. We do.
James, Colin, you tell me if I'm wrong, but I'm calling my shot right now. I think there are a few giant stories in e-commerce this year, and this one for sure is top 3 story of the year.
Yeah.
Making the largest screen in the household, the best buy on the internet, easy to use, no minimums, throw you some credits, performance, targeted, linear, CTV, etc. I mean, in the context of like everything always going up, I mean, if I can put my ad anywhere, that will be $6 to $8 or a little more. I mean, it's incredible, man. It's like bananas that this didn't happen before.
I agree. I'm in. I may run this as an ad.
TV is so back. TV is so back.
Chris, we're going to hear of the one-man brand Chad Scaler that decided to use universal ads to scale local and just go crazy with it based off of all the AI he's putting in there. And he's just iterating and he's scaling. And we're going to find out 6 months from now, he's going to be like, yeah, we hit $1 billion. And this is going to be we're going to hear this out of Twitter. I promise you that. I'm
in. I'm retweeting that thing like crazy.
Let me ask this because I mean, there's more. There's way. Of course, we talk D2C e-com all day, every day. But like this should be a service business thing. Like every service business in existence.
This is it. It works for everything. So the service businesses. This again, we got a huge partnership with a company called Search Kings. It's based one of the biggest local service providers. They built on top of our ads API. They are absolutely crushing it for their local services businesses. App install is absolutely starting to crush it. It's just TV. I think TV's just been waiting for this moment. It had to be easy. You had to get all the arb out of it. And then you really did need everyone to start measuring things in a more rational way where and ironically, like as someone who was at Snap for a long time, like we I think all the walled gardens sort of made this moment happen because people were adding up all their conversions in Ads Manager, and you're like, whoa, that's like 5 times more sales than I actually have.
Yeah.
And so I think it's this moment where it's all coming together. And I think we're at the right place to do it. Comcast is just very uniquely positioned to be able to run this playbook.
And let me say this layer of actually going to the source, I'm not working with somebody that's built on top of you. I'm just going to the source and the substantial upcharge that is basically double what my actual ad delivery costs is now away.
Yep.
Hello. It's what are we talking about? That's incredible.
I honestly, until we got more exposed to this, I didn't realize it was still operating this way.
Bananas.
But there's no reason for it, and it's not good for publishers who spend a ton of money producing and making amazing content.
Yeah,
it's obviously not good for advertisers because they just end up running back to social when they don't see the real performance. And then I actually don't think it's good for even consumers because that's why you have so little diversity in the ad experience.
Always.
Always. It's the same stuff over and over. And this is part of the reason why.
I can't tell you how many ESPN shows, games I have seen where I literally see the same ad 24 times.
Yeah.
And I have always thought there's inventory to be had here. Where is the creative? Where are the advertisers?
It's coming. It's kind of cheesy, but I think there's going to be this Cambrian explosion of TV creative, right? Where
TV's back.
you're gonna have diversity, and you're gonna have we all should get different ads. It's so crazy that we're not. So I think it's coming.
That's incredible.
I think that every 80s and 90s kid is gonna love this so much because you grew up watching TV. TV is back, baby.
TV's back, and in 2026, TV's back.
TV's back.
No, we're back. I like it.
Okay. Okay, James. Man, we appreciate you coming on here. We appreciate you giving us the good word. But tell people where to find you, where to talk with you, where to get started. We know we got Jones Road, we've got everybody else.
Neurogum.
Yeah, Neurogum.
Yeah, we got a bunch. We got a bunch of really great case studies. They're on the site now, and then a bunch of coming out. But go to universalads.com, sign up for an account, start running, or hit me up on LinkedIn or X, and I can try to get you some ad credits to test this thing out.
Boom.
And yeah, that's where we are.
Okay, we're gonna clip this. We'll clip it 7 ways from Sunday, and we need we're gonna include your Twitter which is James Borow, right?
Yes.
At James
Yes,
Borow. We're gonna clip that. Have people reach out to you. Go to universalads.com. TV is so back. TV is back in a big way. I think big things happening this year. Live commerce, Shopify, whatnot, integration. TV is back. Universal Ads paving the way. Now we can all get in there, and there is an actual place on the internet where you can get $8 CPMs, not $800 CPMs. Bananas. James, man, we appreciate you coming on the show. Love what you're doing. Brands and agencies are going to scale this to the moon. Thank you, my friend. Appreciate it. Look forward to having you back, brother.
Yeah.
Ow!